This video is about one key concept that might just change your life, and that's turning your pain into immense levels of motivation and determination. Listen, we all go through ruts and periods of pain and feelings of disappointment in ourselves, periods of time when we are struggling to keep up with everything in our life and falling behind on the tasks that we know we need to get done. And it's painful. Especially, let's say, if you're trying to quit an addiction and every time you put in the work, the addiction just comes back and keeps beating you and keeps beating you. Or if there's this one habit that you know you need to do, or a collection of habits, but no matter how hard you try, you keep looking at that habit tracker and you keep looking at all those empty boxes that should have but haven't been ticked, and it causes you pain. A lot of pain. So how can we turn this pain that you feel into a superpower? Because I've noticed by studying so many people who have become successful that all of them have a general common backstory, and that is a backstory of some sort of pain. If you look at all of these great people who have achieved great things in their field, one thing you'll notice in common is they all have this story about how they overcame great adversity. Now, common logic would say that the person who had everything going for them, had everything being perfect, everything just went exactly according to plan, that guy should be the one who's the most successful, right? Logically, that person's gonna be a lot better than the person who had a bunch of roadblocks and went down and then up, but then went down again a lot, but then also went up and had this fluctuation and had all these roadblocks but made it through them and pushed past the roadblocks in the way. The person who just had everything going from them from the start and was perfect at everything should be the best one. But if you look at the people who are actually successful, a extremely disproportionate amount of them have stories of overcoming great pain and great adversity. And most people don't stop to think, why? It's because these people learned a way to harness their pain and use it as a fuel, as a motivator to push them and propel them so far up that the person who was already comfortable in life, that was cruising along, that was doing as good as any person could reasonably do, could not keep up. Because those people that did really successful, they had pain so strong that they did better than a reasonable person could do. They did unreasonably good. They were able to push themselves beyond the limits of what was at the time thought possible. They put an exceptional amount of work, and that's what made them exceptional. They harnessed their pain and they used it as their most powerful asset in rising to the top. So if you're watching this video and you're a human, which I'm gonna assume you are, then you have probably felt pain at some point in your life, and it is very much possible that as you're watching this video, you are in a process of a bad period in your life where you are once again feeling pain. Maybe there are habit trackers that have all of these boxes left unticked, or you're trying to get rid of a bad habit or an addiction and it's just not working. And every time you fail, the pain adds up and you feel more and more disappointed in yourself. How can you put an end to all of this? Well, to understand how pain works as a motivator, let's first look at two examples of people. Person one is on a normal path and they're just about average at everything. They are at a level where their life is completely average and, they're not amazing, they're not terrible, they don't feel a lot of pain, but they don't feel that much joy either. All right, pretty average life. Let's look at person number two. This person has a pretty shitty life compared to the average person, but it's just decent enough where they still stick to it and they don't really mind. And then we have person three, who is at the very bottom. They are at a level where they're so miserable that they cannot withstand, they cannot live in this environment anymore. For them, the pain of staying in their current life exceeds the pain of moving up to a better life. Because you see, to move up to a better life, you also have to go through some pain. We don't really think about it a lot this way, but really the path of going up to a better life is also a very painful one. You have to get rid of bad habits, you have to build new habits, and you're gonna fail, and it's gonna be hard. It's very painful, which is why most people don't do it. Because if you think about it, if it wasn't painful, then everybody would just be doing every habit perfectly and everybody would be super successful. No, there's pain there. But at a certain level, person 3 gets to the point where just the pain of even staying where they are is so immeasurably high that pain exceeds the level of pain it takes to move up and move to a better life. And so this person no longer has any choice other than to climb up and to begin making themselves better. That is their only option. For you, you can go through some pain and, it's going to be painful, but then you run out of your motivation and you settle back to your normal life where, hey, it's a normal life. It's pretty decent. You could have a better life, but this life is pretty acceptable. So you can wait there and not feel that much pain. But for this person, they are gonna beat you. Why? Because for them, the lowest state of pain, when they're feeling lazy, like when they don't want to feel pain, the way they avoid pain is by putting in hard work and improving their situation. How can you beat someone like that? Just think about it for a second. You are comfortable when you are not doing hard work or putting in effort to resist urges, and you are just living your normal average life. That is the position of least pain, and due to the way our brains are wired, you want to avoid pain. Okay, you can push yourself against the pain. But then there's person 2 who, for him, it's less painful than just staying where he is to put in work and power through. So he's willing to do levels of things that you are never going to be willing to do to get out of the situation he's in. Because putting in 12-hour shifts for him is less painful than it is to stay in his normal position and relax at his home, because that has a greater pain cost. So what does this illustrate? It illustrates that if you have enough pain in your life and you leverage that pain, you can use that pain to overcome another pain, which is the pain of doing hard work. That way, pain becomes a great motivator. But as I say this, I want to point one more thing out. When we're looking at functions of the human body, which pain is one of them that has been purposefully built in by evolution, you have to look at, why is it here? Because pain is a thing that we generally don't like. And if it isn't good for us, it wouldn't be in our body. Our body as humans has evolved over the course of, I think, billions of years, if you trace it back to, the earliest organisms. And pain would not be built into you if it wasn't helping you survive. So let's analyze, what is the point of pain? Pain allows you to understand when a situation is uncomfortable or, painful, and the pain motivates you to move to a better position where you get to avoid the pain. Like, for example, if you didn't have pain, you would touch a hot stove and your finger would start burning and you would keep it there because you don't feel pain. That's not very good. And now you can see that the fundamental purpose of pain is to be a motivator, is to push us to become better or to avoid a worse scenario. So you might be asking, how does this apply to you? How can you use this? How can you use your pain to avoid pain and to go up to a better life where you don't have to deal with as much pain? Well, first of all, you need to amplify your pain. Because the thing is, if you want to use your pain as a weapon, if you want to weaponize that pain, you need more of it. The more pain you can get, the more motivation that you can turn it into. And pain, if it's very little, until it crosses a certain threshold, it's really not going to do much for you. So really dig into that pain. Whatever it is you're mad at, imagine that your couch or a pillow is that thing, and start beating it violently and cursing at it and just thinking about all the terrible things this thing that you're personifying has done to you. Let's say you're trying to quit smoking. I'm just making up an example, right? And just imagine smoking, the addiction of smoking, as this evil concept, like almost turn it into a character in your head and get so mad at this character, get so angry. And you can also use anger as a motivator along with pain and really dig into how much this has negatively affected your life. Really dig into how terrible this is for you and how shit everything, all of this is. You need to seriously get passionate in your anger and really make that pain powerful. And as you start doing that, as you start getting so angry at that thing, as you start thinking about all the things you could be and all the things that's holding you back, as you see that this is the great challenge standing in front of you, acting as the gatekeeper between you and a better life, a life where you are able to achieve your dreams. This is the thing holding you back. And if you can beat it, if you can defeat this one thing, if you can gather the willpower and the discipline to burst through, then finally you will get what you want. But this thing is standing in your way, and that should anger you, and that should motivate you like crazy. And a lot of the time when I recommend techniques to you, it's important that I have personal experience using this thing and that I show you examples of how I use this technique to get motivation and to be productive. So I present to you this video. This video was not part of my original YouTube plan. My plan was that my next video was going to be a sequel to my video about how smartphones are destroying your brain. It's actually a very interesting video. You should definitely check it out. And I already have the script completed for it as I'm recording this video. I had no script for this video. I had no plan to make it, but I was in a lot of pain and I was not making progress towards my goals. And that pissed me off. I was in a state of pain, and it seriously pissed me off how terrible I was doing with the habits that I wanted to be doing, and I got so angry that instead of, going to my room and doing whatever, and then later starting my night routine and reading a book, suddenly I decided, you know what, that's it. I'm making a video from scratch. And so right now, that same day, I am here recording this video, which is something that usually I tend to procrastinate on. And I know I give a lot of advice on productivity and how not to procrastinate, but we're all human. To an extent, everybody procrastinates. Who do you look up to? Like Hamza, he's a self-improvement YouTuber and entrepreneur with 2 million subscribers. He gets into ruts. He admits it all the time, where he's like, well, I haven't been posting on YouTube a lot and I've been procrastinating and we're all human. And using this pain that I felt for not sticking to my goals and being productive, I was able to suddenly get an extreme level of productivity that I normally would not be able to achieve. Normally, even if I was going to do everything right, I would just stick to my normal nighttime routine, wind down, do whatever, and then tomorrow, I'll start scripting the video maybe, and I'll record maybe. But no, this is what I mean. Pain, leveraging immense amounts of pain is a superpower because it allows you to break the limit of what is normal and what is reasonable. Because with normal productivity tips, you can go up all the way up to 100%. But the thing about pain is it can push you to 101, 102, 110, 150. If the pain is strong enough, it can make you do anything, any level of extreme motivation. And in the moment, as I was using this, and I realized how powerful this could be and how clearly it presented itself in the backstories of so many successful people, I could see it was like a staple, a necessity to become exceptional. Because by doing 100%, you can only reach the maximum of the reasonable level. But if you want exceptional amounts of success, you have to push past 100%, and this is the only way. So realizing how important this concept is, I realized I had to make this video and teach it to you guys so that hopefully next time you're feeling a lot of pain, you'll be able to utilize it too. And if you really are serious about increasing your productivity and bringing it up to the next level, then I also have another thing that'll be perfect for you. I've spent a lot of time designing a free resource that involves just about an hour of content with video and notes and actionable steps that you can use to instantly double your productivity among watching it and looking at all of the text. And it's going to be the first link in the description. Listen, if you're at all serious about improving your productivity, it's a free resource that you can use, so there's literally no reason why you shouldn't be doing that right now. But that being said, that's all I wanted to tell you in today's video. So I'll see you in the next video, and until then, remember to harness your pain.